What is up, Average Dude Nation? Here with a very good friend who I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, Amanda McCreight here. I am the founder of Mark Your Map. It's a travel app I'm coming out with. It's not out yet. It's a way to organize, share, and relive your travel photos and memories, kind of like your personal scratch-off map and scrapbook, but within the palm of your hand.
Nice.
Cool, yeah. So I don't think we've seen you since August, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. I know there's been a lot of changes. Do you want to talk about? I don't know if you want to pick up like most recent, or if you want to try to like go back where we left off.
I guess where we left off in August, I was leaving for Costa Rica. I studied abroad there for 4 months, which was an incredible experience. I mean, the whole reason why I started my app was because I love traveling anyway. So while I was there, I actually ran into quite a few complications with development and people I was working with. But I mean, that's entrepreneurship. Fast forward to now, I spent the next semester, January to May, in Philadelphia. And then I just decided to take a leave of absence for 1 year to work on my business. So that's the update.
Yeah.
Hella exciting. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Do you want to talk about? I mean, personally, like I'm interested in like hearing more about like the leave of absence.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I actually took a leave of absence last spring when I went down to Florida to work an internship. So I'm just interested because it's not an easy decision at all, and especially when you're consulting with other people. They might tend to tell you like not to do that. So I'm just interested.
So I'm in I'm still in it. A 5-year physician assistant program, which means I do 3 years undergrad and then go right into grad school. So I'm supposed to be starting grad school in July. So it's like a huge decision to be like, actually no, like I'm gonna put a pause on that because it's a slot that not many people get. So I like feel so grateful, but I couldn't live with the what if for Mark Your Map. Like what if I never pursued it? And so you're right, I was getting a lot of opinions from people. It's like, oh, well, like, what if Mark Your Map doesn't work? Why would you take off? Don't you just want to like go the steady route? You're going to get an income, just become a PA and like get more money when you're younger. And like, it never was in my head to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a year off from school. But I had this moment of like clarity where I literally was like, I need to do it. Like, I would be sitting in class, but then thinking about Mark Your Map. And it's just, I couldn't be great at either one of those things if I was doing them both at the same time. So I figured give it a shot. They accepted, like they approved my request. So worst comes to worst, at the end of this year, like I still have a slot in the program, but with the grade below me. And I'm just gonna give it my all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So like, what about now? Like, after you made the decision, like, are you getting support? I mean, like, I know you are because I've seen it, but you want to talk about that?
I think I was on the phone with my mom when I actually like thought about. I was like, had that moment of clarity or whatever on the phone, and she was like, "Okay, you have a decision to make." And I was like, "What?" Because at first she was like, "If you even think about dropping out of school, like, don't do it." But then she like sees the momentum I've been getting and sees how passionate I am. She's like, "No, like we will support you. We have your back." So that's the reason why I'm able to keep going is because I have the support of my parents. Yeah, after I made the decision, I had a minor mental breakdown because I was like, what did I just do? Like, that's so left field of any like plan I had for myself. No,
that's a natural response. Like, I just call that buyer's remorse. And whenever I'm in a situation where you make a decision and then maybe you're like second guessing it, like I just end up telling myself that like I know it's the right decision, like this is a natural feeling of like doubt, and to just like go through with it. Because I know like that step messes a lot of people up, and a lot of people just kind of get like confused, and a lot of people are in the middle, and you can't be in the middle. You need to pick one side to go on, and if you live in the middle, you're not gonna make it. So that's kind of what, I don't know, that's just what I want to tell people. Don't live in the middle.
It's true.
So do you want to talk about just progress on the app in general and
I
don't know, I guess building a team and all of that fun, or maybe not fun stuff?
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs to the fun part, but when I went to Costa Rica, I had found a freelancer on Upwork website. This is not promoting them, just saying, because I interviewed so many people And I had this guy, we were working together, went to Costa Rica, we were still like maintaining the relationship and the business, and I, was excited because while I was still in Costa Rica.
Is this a different head?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like I've had to like start up and break down a lot of different times because it's hard. You can't just like find someone and be like, oh, this is the perfect fit. And like maybe in the beginning I was a little naive, starting my business thinking that'll just work in the beginning. Obviously, that's entrepreneurship. It doesn't, and you keep going. But the developer I was working with while I was in Costa Rica ended up being like a con artist, scam artist guy.
Always.
And he started being sketchy, not showing up to like our video calls and being very like dismissive when I was talking to him. So I was like, okay, this is weird. And then the next day, I got a message from the freelance company saying we terminated your project because he was involved in illegal activity and we don't want him associated with our website. So then like my project literally ended. Like they're like, we don't suggest you contact him, you can't contact him through our website anymore. So like after I spent all this time and money getting half of a product made that actually ended up being written in the wrong code than what he said he was writing it in. Like it was like the worst. Yeah. Like it was the worst series of events. And so while I was there, like studying abroad, this is something that like isn't spoken about a lot. Everybody posts like their best pictures and they're living the time of their lives, but it actually can like be really lonely and sad at times because you're just thrown into this new environment that it's not like a vacation, you're living there. So while my company was like crumbling, while I can only speak Spanish because my host mom doesn't know English, like it was a lot to kind of go through, and I had to make the decision to put Mark Your Map on the back burner and I didn't want to end up resenting my project because of all the problems that I was having. So I let the whole travel like encompass me and really threw myself into the culture and took a lot of like pictures, videos, content so that I could work on the marketing and getting the word out there. And then my goal was, as soon as I got back to Philly in January, was to get development, like this game plan. I can't just keep hoping that somebody's going to do it right. I need to go to like an actual agency and company and work on getting investors and things like that. So ever since January, that was my goal. I just like Googled app development companies in Philadelphia, called like 10 of them, did a ton of like interviewing. Ended up finding this company that wasn't in Philly, it was actually in LA, but perfect fit for what I needed. So now I have like a complete like actual prototype of everything I'm looking for. My vision was actually like, it was a group of us that worked together, and I was so impressed that like I could vocalize what I wanted and they literally could like see it and like produce, like that's what like a team should be. Like yeah. So that was definitely awesome. So I can show you guys that. It's on my phone.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that's just the prototype, so I don't have it in development yet. I know. It's a process. I
know. As like a creator, like you're like, oh no, it's not perfect.
I know.
Like one of our friends is a musician, and like he's always like, oh, it's not done yet.
Now I was finding investors, so which is cool because, I had to compile like everything in my brain into like a business plan and documents, and that's something that like for me took a lot of. Now that like I don't have school, like I had school to always fall back on, be like, okay, I'm working on Mark Your Map, but like school's my goal. But now that Mark Your Map's my priority, it's like I'm the only one who sets the rules and the deadlines. So like I have to follow them, and it's easy to be like, oh, let me just like wander around my kitchen.
Oh,
like,
you're talking, you're preaching to the choir.
So
that.
yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Kind of my scheduling and staying on track, but I've started like pitching and talking to investors, and really my favorite part so far is just I went to an event like 2 weeks ago in Hoboken. It was called Propelfy Innovation Festival, and really like the best part of entrepreneurship is just meeting people and like being curious and asking questions, and then like people just genuinely want to help. I feel like I said this like the first time we ever made a video. It was just about how like willing people are to talk and to like help you, and so I just started like making connections these past 2 weeks and showing up to events, and yeah, it's been really awesome.
Do you think the hardest part is scheduling and I guess just being accountable to yourself? Or
yeah, I'd say I think my problem, or where I kind of get stuck, is I get intimidated sometimes. Like this whole like business plan thing, like it's actually sitting right there. It's like quite a few pages, and it's like going from like
the executive summary, to the marketing plan, to the strategy, to the finances, and that's stuff that I've never had to do before. Like, I didn't learn any of those tables in school, or like, and I think I kind of use that as a crutch a little bit. I was like, oh, well, I never learned it. It's like, well, no, if you sit down, do some research, and just do it, then you learn. Took me a little while to like actually do it, but now it's done, and I feel like a new woman.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, you can't try to outsource everything, and you definitely do need to outsource things that you're not good at, as Gary says. But there's like a certain part where it's like you need to do it yourself and you need to learn it. For example, like with the shirts, we were talking about if we wanted to continue to move forward with it, like we should learn how to sew. Like we should learn how to make the shirts, because in my opinion, like the one thing that like this world doesn't need is more people like just marketing stuff. Like the world needs more creators.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are like, oh, I have this business, that business, that business, and then like you find out like all they do is like market and sell, and they have nothing to do with like the product,
quality of the product,
or where it came from, or like any of that stuff. And for me, like I think that's gonna be like where the shift is, like in the next couple of years.
I definitely agree.
And yeah, you're gonna see marketers going out of business, and like actual like companies and people that like put the product first are gonna rise up. I think with like all the digital marketing and like social media, and it's really cheap now to put your stuff in front of people, that it's been a good opportunity for a lot of companies and a lot of marketers. But I don't know, I'm just concerned by it, because like I see a lot of companies like doing stuff that I don't like, just kind of like ethically like shady stuff, like taking advantage of like customers. I see a lot of like new companies, in my opinion, a lot of startups taking advantage of college kids, like getting them to do like a brand ambassador role for free. That's not necessarily a fair position.
I mean, my sister, she's 14. She gets all excited because she's on social media, whatever, and like someone will message her, like some bathing suit company will message her and be like, hey, like, would you like to be a brand ambassador? And she's like, gets all excited, right? And she's like, oh my God, they want me. And then it'd be like, we'll give you 20% off. Like, then she finds out, like, we'll give you 20% off our bathing suit, which is really $60 for the top and $60 for the, they make you feel really like special, and then it's just like,
to make a sale.
Like you have to buy it anyway in order to push your code to, which nobody's even going to use anyway.
No, yeah.
Which is
like when we were trying to like get companies to give us stuff for like product reviews, which I was surprised like so many companies were willing to do it. There was a bunch of them that were like, no, but like we'd be happy if like you purchased our item. I was like, that's cool, but like we're just like, I'm not getting it because like for me, I'm getting it like for the sake of this video. My problem with Instagram is that there's just so much like profiles of nothing on there. Like there's so many people that are, I feel like 50% of people that like follow me are like personal like brand management people, like trying to sell a service. And it's kind of frustrating that it's like that high of a percent of the people. Because I mean, like in the beginning it was a personal platform, and I feel like it's getting like overtaken by business. I don't know. Like I know like your profile, since we saw you guys grown, ours is pretty much exactly this. Instagram is exactly the same. Obviously, like YouTube grew a lot.
yeah.
But
That's
and
interesting.
even like with the hashtags, I personally don't often search hashtags. I'd probably be more likely to search a location, I feel like, and just browse. Like if I'm on vacation and be like, oh, are there any cool pictures here in Aruba? And just go on and browse it like that. But
Yeah, it's always like I know when we did this giveaway, which is awesome because
sorry about the delay, yes.
No. I was like, I was delayed at that too, but I got like a lot of new followers from that. But then I reached 800. I was like, woo, 800 followers. Then I checked today, and then it was 790 or whatever, which is still phenomenal. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of them are those like expand your business, and then like,
Oh yeah.
like
Nothing.
I don't. It's like, who are those accounts? Why do they do that?
it's just follow, unfollow.
I don't know. I feel like there should be like a separate like section almost. Because like a person has like no business like I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It's just a barrier.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to figure out like how, like what content to put out there that brings people's attention and like strategically plan like what I'm gonna post, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'll post tonight, and then like I end up not knowing what to post, and then I don't post anything. That's not putting content out there, so I'm working on it.
Did you do like a travel tips video?
No, but I should.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm like lately I've been trying to just think about like the word value and like how I can add that to other people. For example, like my mom's an interior designer and she was like talking to me about like how to get more leads. And she's like, should I, you know, spend money on like Facebook ads or Google AdWords and all of this? And I was like, no, what you should do is like, you should like take that money and like make a couple videos like telling people like how to do like design stuff in their own home. Which at first seems like counterintuitive because it's like, that's the service she's providing.
right. But she's the one with the knowledge to offer those people that.
Yeah, that and the people that are looking for that are gonna do it themselves, they were never in the market to hire her anyway. So those are just still additional people that she wouldn't have been reaching. So like, that's why we're trying to do more, like review videos and I guess like informational, educational stuff, which you'll see like over time. Even though we like doing the vlogs and everything.
But it's like if you don't have a following yet, then
No, who cares about my life?
Right. Okay, that's a good tip. We're like.
I mean,
tips for other
well, some people care, but
Right,
so like
yeah.
you don't stop them, but you gotta add more of like value. So if you made a series, just a suggestion about like, you could do like top 5 beginner travel mistakes, and you could film like a funny skit of you like running through the airport. I don't know, like about to miss your flight with like a neck pillow on or something.
Which that actually happened.
Exactly.
It did. Like I had a connecting flight in Houston, and my friend was meeting me there, and then we were flying to Costa Rica together. And my flight got in with like 30 minutes like to spare, but it was on the other side of the terminal. And like I asked someone like, oh, where's it? They're like, just go this way, turn this way, and go this way, and you'll be there like 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, like I got this. I'm walking. I'm like, I really want some coffee. I called my friend. I'm like, do you want some coffee? Like, I'll go get it. And like, I had no time. Then they said to her, she's like, I'm not getting on this plane without my friend. They're like, well, like, are you prepared to leave without her? Because we're closing the doors. And I come up with like 2 iced coffees in my hand. They're like, you didn't tell us she stopped for coffee. We were like, I'm sorry. So like that literally happened.
No, yeah. So you could even just do like a travel stories series. Like some of them could be you, and some of them could just be like other people.
Yeah. Cool. That's a good idea.
You know those things where like someone tells like a story and then like they like create like animation of it?
Yeah.
Those are always cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those are
you
hard.
need-
I'd have
you
to
need
figure out how to do
You
that.
need resources for those though, so yeah.
Like a whiteboard drawing.
Yeah, those are always, and they're so entertaining.
I know.
I love
I
those.
could not.
Oh, I guess you could. I guess you could just do it on a whiteboard. Yeah.
I'm
For me,
not
like-
artistically inclined in that way.
Yeah. I can't even draw a stick figure probably.
I know, I was gonna say my stick figure probably.
So I don't know. Is there anything else?
What?
I know it's hard to say obviously because it's being developed still, but when would you like to release it in an optimal world?
Today. But like obviously. All this takes so much time, and like I know each day I'm working towards my goal, so it's not like I'm like, sitting here just like wishing like, wow, I hope it's getting developed, because it's not gonna get developed if I don't try. It's hard because it's also my first time, so I don't know how long this stuff takes. Like, let's say someone tells me, yeah, I want to invest in you. Is there some sort of, like, I still have to look, like, is there some sort of process that like it takes long to transfer money? I don't know, but ideally within the next month, between June and July, an investor will invest in Mark Your Map, and by July 1st or the second week in July, I want it in development like now. So that's the goal. And then with the company that I plan on going with, it'll take roughly 2 to 4 months. So we can launch some like the bare bones, the basic version by like month 2, 2.5, and then just do some iterations. I have some like future features I want to include. And then by 4 months, it'll be the whole built out prototype. and then go from there.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm excited.
I don't know. There's nothing like seeing something like start from nothing and then just build up. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's like great about trying to be an entrepreneur.
Mhm. No, I agree. And just the connections, like, do you know who Jesse Itzler is? It's actually his book right here. I went to, so my mom actually told me about him because he wrote a book called Living with a Seal. He created Zico Coconut Water and Marquis Jet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And super inspirational. Like, he's the reason why I really like started entrepreneurship. And he had a course, a mentorship course that me and my mom joined, and it was from February 1st to, I think it was like second week in May or something. And we had live calls with him twice a month, and we had this whole group, this motivational group, and we set goals. And last night he launched his book, so I went to the event in New York City. So we had like one-on-one contact with him, so like we would message him and ask him questions. So he like roughly knew about Mark Your Map and like Mark Your Map. And when I went to the event, he recognized me. He was like, "Oh my God, so good to see you. I was just telling my wife about you." Sarah Blakely, inventor of Spanx, like incredible woman. That's why I'm riding on such a momentum right now. That literally
That's
just
awesome.
happened last night, and like it's really just about going and talking to people. Even if you have a concept and you don't think you can consider yourself an entrepreneur yet, like ride with it. Just go talk to people. Like people will help you go from like starting point to hope to get you to like see it to fruition. And like even though
I don't know. Yeah, everything's just like one giant web. That's how I
Yeah.
see it.
So wait, so tell me what you guys are up to and like what steps you're at and where.
Okay.
Well, Matt's actually about to leave for Florida. He's going to work at BurgerFi again.
Right, saw that.
for a
That's
month.
awesome.
I'm working at Zebra Technologies. I don't know if you've heard of them before. It's this big like operations company or whatever. So I'm interning there.
That's awesome.
So
Where is
that's
it?
Holtzville.
Where is that?
It's out east a little bit, like 30 minutes, so don't have to take the long road, which is sick. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that for a little bit, and then I guess mostly just trying to make content during that time. We're still thinking about the shirts, like that
Those are pretty
whole
cool.
thing. Like I don't know, we're just rolling with the flow with that, really. I don't know.
It's a great like average to savage is pretty good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. A lot of people, have said that.
Like you
I wanna
can
get a
really
trademark.
pump that out there.
Yeah.
I think. Like I saw a guy with a shirt yesterday. So stupid, but it's funny. And he was wearing like a tank top or whatever, and obviously a fit guy, works out, and it said, "I flexed so hard the sleeves fell off." And it's like, like did he wake up and be like, "I want this shirt, let me get it"? No, but like it's like one of those shirts. If somebody saw average to savage, they'd be like, "Everyone knows I'm a savage right now." And like I really think that would be awesome.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I was honestly like the long sleeve shirts that had that on it. In my opinion, like they didn't come out like the way I wanted them to. So I definitely want to like get a shirt that says that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue now is that we have like 60 shirts and no one to buy them. So we're trying to figure out like how to sell those before we start working on. I just want to like make stuff and then it's just gonna be sitting there. So we need to figure out like what to do with that before we start making new stuff.
It's
So
true.
I'm happy that this
So,
kid's
yeah.
here to keep me in check about that.
Now we're exploring, trying to learn about like Instagram ads, Facebook ads, all that type of stuff, and figure out how to like go deep with that and really learn it. Cause like,
Cool. That's
I
one of
feel
my
like-
steps too.
yeah, I feel like there's like cheat codes or something, but you have to like just like keep testing and until you figure it out, and all the testing is just throwing money down. So
Yeah.
Just burning cash.
just have to
You could,
see what happens with that. I
you
don't
could
know.
also think about the shirts, like if they're not selling, and you obviously want to sell them first because you don't want to buy more if those ones
Yeah.
aren't selling, but you kind of like archive them so that let's say when Average to Savage becomes like a huge thing and everyone's buying the shirts, it's like those are, it's like almost like those, they're the
OG,
originals
yeah.
that like huge fans would be like, well fuck yeah, I want to wear them. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say them here.
Yeah, go for it.
But no, but like that's also a way to think about it instead of like freaking yourself
Yeah,
out.
definitely. Awesome.
I mean, like when we bought them, what
We
we
kinda
spent, we
knew
spent
that.
like 500, I think. Yeah, I was like, listen, like, I looked him right in the face. I was like, there's a strong chance we're not. We're just gonna be wearing all these shirts.
Yeah. like we knew it was coming, but like
no, because it's really just like an exposure thing. 'Cause, like no one's like seeing it because like the channel and like I'm not even really sure. Like we're trying ads, Instagram ads, but I'm not really sure if that's even like because it was just so
broad.
no, it was like specific. But then I was like, dude, like why are we doing fitness? Like what do we know about that? Like we don't know anything. Like we can't, like we could definitely like talk about it and work out, but like that definitely can't be the main premise. Now, business on the other hand, that can be it. So.
When I think of like the words average to savage, I do think of fitness though, and like becoming like a beast at the gym. So I think that
Well, that's originally like the concept started with.
yeah. What made you?
I don't know. Like
I'm just thinking like.
it's just like different now. I don't know. We're trying to figure it out still.
Yeah.
Well, no, we
Like,
thought that
yeah, like
we
lost
thought that we
the-
could just like make vlogs and.
We lost like the core. I feel like.
It's really easy to do that because you start coming up with so many different ideas and like I know for me like I'm like the app is my main thing, but it's like oh hats, oh let me just start making journals because that's fun, and then like all of a sudden like people want them, and then I'm spending all my days like doing that when like yeah that's cool, but like what's my end goal here?
Like we're trying to do a lot of stuff instead of going like deep. I guess. I don't know. Like we have like the YouTube channel, and then we have
I'm trying to
the
bring
shirts,
it
and then reviews, and then like all that other stuff too. So gotta just figure out how to.
But it's
balance
also
that.
good to have like
Yeah.
you have a lot of different like things that you offer to people. Just figuring it out. What made you choose the font you chose for the average to savage, or you didn't? Or
The font.
Sure.
yeah.
I think it was just.
Nah, we were between. There was different choices.
We were just like going through a bunch until we found one that looked good. I
You
think,
sent him
right?
some.
Like 10, 15.
He was like, I don't know, like we just need a better graphic designer. Better graphic designer is more money. Don't have more money. We have a crappier graphic designer.
I think, I mean, not that my opinion totally matters, but like you should do like the block letters. Like I'm just
Okay.
thinking about this guy's shirt
So you can read it
yesterday.
better.
Yeah, because I think that that makes it more savage.
Okay.
And I like
Yeah. Well, Chris is harder to read though.
yeah,
At a
yeah,
distance.
yeah. I agree too. And I was just thinking, I think that would show up really well with like, because it's the black and the yellow, right? Or no?
Let's go. But yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
go. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know, that guy's shirt just really stuck out to me yesterday, and it was like funny, and I was like, oh, they should do that.
Yeah. We were thinking about just getting like a bunch of like, I mean we haven't discussed this in a while, but just getting a bunch of like single items with just like different stuff on it, like just for ourselves to wear around.
You can, with those companies, can't you get like a shirt to like see how it looks, like a tester shirt? And that way maybe you could just get one and then like put it out there, see if there's traction for it, and be like, oh, based on like how much you guys want this, we're gonna get 15 more, and so, you know? Instead of getting,
For screen printing, not really, because like they have to make the screen up. So either way, like
they're making it in.
yeah. So it would just make like the one shirt. No, because originally
What if you
I
just-
tried to do that. I was like, yeah, like we want this. Like we'll pay extra for like this first shirt, obviously, because you guys gotta set it up. And they're like, yeah, but like then you're gonna be paying like $100 for like a shirt.
Oh, that's great.
No, you could order singles like from places online though, because there's other like printing besides screen printing.
Yeah, it's just trying
I don't know, like the ultimate goal, like I want to like, I don't want to just have like printed clothes, like I want to like actually make our own stuff. That's not just like graphic stuff,
Yeah.
because like that's what I'm more interested in. I don't really wear like graphic tees even, so I'm more like.
Weren't you
that's
working
not-
on supplements at some point? So wasn't
Yeah,
that
that kind of fell through because there's multiple reasons why that fell through. One was at the time what we thought was the reason was that like one of the ingredients we wanted to put in our supplement, which was like the fact that was going to make it unique. It's very expensive and like very difficult to source, so there was like trouble with that. And then like in retrospect, the issue was like that we have no business going into the supplement industry. We know nothing about it, which is fine. You could totally teach yourself about it, but that's not really like where we were at the time. It was more like, oh yeah, like this is a sick idea for a specific product. Let's make it. It wasn't like, oh, let's go into like this whole like fitness space, which, you know, sometimes you'll have a good idea and unfortunately like you're not the person for it. And I guess that was just the case with that, which is sad because you're like, I get like so excited every time I have an idea, and then you look it up and you're like, oh, there already exists. And then I think then that's when we decided to do the shirts. After that, or no? We were talking about it.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Well, this giveaway has been awesome. I think is it bringing traction
Oh
your way?
yeah, mostly from you though.
Yeah.
Our people don't engage as much. I think your followers are like I feel like you're like more personal with them. And like a lot of I mean like we know some of the people obviously, but I feel like there's a lot more kind of random.
Yeah. Random's good too though. They can help spread the message to other
Could be.
people.
I mean, it's already going better than the last giveaway that we did.
Yeah.
Where like that stuff was actually like, I was worth like 100 something bucks too, but no one really knew what it was.
What was it?
It was
like CBD, like a bunch of like medicinal like
topicals,
like topicals,
creams and
yeah,
stuff.
like creams and like pain spray and like all different.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. There's like a couple kids from like Northport High School. I guess they're like 2 years younger than us that like follow us. I don't know how, but like.
No, I love that. Yeah.
It's funny. I like always see them comment and I'm just like, that's so sick.
Wait, I'm gonna look right now because I was so like I've never done a giveaway. I was like low-key surprised by how many people like engaged with it and like.
Yeah, I was seeing names that I haven't seen in.
Look, somebody just tagged more. She did it twice.
That's how you get them. You
History
say
buff.
extra entries for more.
Yeah.
For more.
History buff, dog lover, teller of bad jokes, food enthusiast. I don't know who she is, but thank you, Devin.
See, you were smart. You did a regular picture first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like that was allowed, but like I did it because I figured it was.
Definitely like.
It's something my
the
users.
post was definitely.
We just like suck at Instagram. I think. I'm not like.
Nah, we don't
no,
suck
like,
at
I'm not like a picture
Nah,
person.
well at least we didn't put text on it.
Well, yeah, that's yeah.
That would have just.
Yeah, you got a lot of entries. It's just sick.
It's crazy. Oh shit, I never replied to this person. What kind of items? Shirts? I never had. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wait, what do you think about Instagram?
What do I think about Instagram?
Like, I feel like for what you're doing, like, it's like isn't that like, it's like perfect almost.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like it's like a really good platform for like the brand.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
with the
totally.
whole traveling and like all of that.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I'm trying to get kind of like a handle on like what I want to put on Mark Your Map versus like what I put on like my account and
Yeah,
like
for sure.
no, it's definitely good and it's definitely going to be a great tool for me once I start. So I have this like mental block because it's like how can I advertise for something that's not out yet? Like once I know it's in development, I have the money and I'm really going for it. Like I feel like I'm gonna have this like weight lifted and I can just post the shit out of everything I'm doing. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be it's a good platform. I have this one video that I've been sitting on that I really want to put out there, and now that I see how well this whole giveaway was, I think I was waiting to make it the launch video for when the app comes out, but like more traction sooner than later is better.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna release this one video and like be like
YouTube
giveaway.
or Instagram?
That's my question too. I noticed that the video I posted on Facebook sometimes gets more views because it's like you don't have to click on it, you can just see it right there.
Yeah.
So I think I'd post it on Instagram and make it, I'll post it on YouTube too, but like make it more of like a YouTube, Facebook, Instagram thing. Yeah, but it's a really cool video. I'm excited. So it'll be like, oh, share this and like you'll win a hat, like you'll win a hat or something.
No, Facebook's definitely like really easy for like videos and sharing and all of that. I noticed that because we post like, I mean, we don't regularly post videos on Facebook, but like the times we did, like they both were like a couple hundred views. Meanwhile, like an actual like Instagram video, you know, we got like 80 or 100. So yeah.
Yeah, we gotta work on that.
I don't have anything else.
I don't either.
Remember when we used to be in math class together?
I was just thinking about that this
You're
week.
so quiet.
I know.
You're so shy.
I still am.
Oh my god, I
Good
hated
class.
math. No, I like tried my best. I just was never good at it. But it's okay. Maybe that's where I learned to have like grit and not giving up.
So like, what about like the $1 million question about like if it works out? Like, I mean, like I would assume what you would do, but I mean,
Like go back to school wise?
yeah.
It's interesting just because like this whole entrepreneurship thing is bringing me in a totally different direction. I can't say it out loud because I don't know if I want to admit it to myself.
I mean, as long as you know, I'm fine with that.
No,
No,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
about. Like people, like a lot of times people ask me like my opinion, and I turn the question and like I try to figure out like what they actually want, because like it's crazy that like we just like lie to ourselves, and like most people don't even know it. And then you could ask them like 1 or 2 questions, and you're like, yeah, like you already made your mind up.
Yeah.
But they tell you that they're still like thinking about it. Meanwhile, like they already know what they want to
Yeah, I usually ask the question, like, let's say, you're like, oh, like, I don't know if I'm gonna eat an apple or a banana, and then you're like, okay, well, you're eating the banana, and then if in your mind you're like, shit, it's like, well, then you know you wanted the
Yeah,
apple!
exactly. So, yeah. That's
Yeah.
actually a perfect way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think I get a lot of fulfillment from, like, speaking to people and entrepreneurship and seeing ideas happen, so if it's going well, then I wouldn't want to put a pause on that. But also, it's really hard to, like, give up being a physician assistant when, like, I'm in grad school, which is the hardest part. And so I don't know.
That's like, I don't know, that's why I like just sharing experiences, and like, I don't know, there's some videos where like I would say something and then I'm like, I don't know if I really want to like put this out, and my mom would be like, why are you putting this out? My mom is more private than me, and I'm like, because like I want people to be able to relate to something, and I think people like think that the goal of putting stuff out is like just to create like controversy or get people to watch it, but like it's not necessarily to get people to watch it, but it's like to actually like relate to people. So
No, I find I relate. Like, I follow a lot of accounts where like the people are themselves and like really weird, and like that makes me feel like I could be like my weird self too.
yeah, you pull it up and you just start cracking up. You're like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? So what are you doing? You're staying here this summer? Are you traveling anywhere?
I'm not traveling anywhere, but my hair did not just. None of this was even out. I'm moving back to Philly in July,
Oh, okay.
so I'm just here for now. But I already signed a lease because like I didn't intend to take the year off, and then literally the last 3 weeks of
Okay,
school I
gotcha,
was like,
gotcha.
I gotta go.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Honestly, like I feel like it might even be better to like.
This
Be
place
there.
is so distracting for
Yeah.
me personally. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, just come over, do this.
Yeah,
like, let's
being
go
home.
drinking, and I'm like, no. But like, it's
Then
hard
you do
to
it-
say
then
no
you do
all
it
the
anyway,
time.
and you do it anyway, yeah. So. All right, cool.
Cool. Turn this off.
Yeah.